Welcome to the MySQL Developer Essentials. In this video series, we have talked about Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server and the various aspects of application development in Azure. You have learned about the typical application patterns and use cases for MySQL in Azure and how to migrate your MySQL databases to Azure. We have covered topics such as which services in Azure you can use to build and deploy web applications and microservices, how to secure your application and the database, and how to plan for high availability and disaster recovery. In this video, I'm going to talk about the different ways you can monitor your applications and MySQL databases, and how to optimize the performance. This is the next phase after your application and database are deployed. Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server has several features that allow you to improve the performance and scalability of your MySQL databases for your growing workloads and business-critical applications. These include making changes to the compute tier, compute size, and storage size. But how do you make educated decisions on the most impactful changes? Let's start with the database queries. You may have very complex queries or queries with a high execution count that affect the overall performance of your database. It is very useful to identify those queries so that you can optimize them by rewriting the query or by adding indexes. Query Performance Insights in Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server gives you an intelligent way to analyze queries and to get better insights on which queries to optimize to improve overall performance and use your available resources efficiently. Query Performance Insight is designed to help you spend less time troubleshooting by providing information such as the top long-running queries and their trends, historical data about query execution time, and how these queries have been utilizing resources such as CPU, memory, and storage. If you want to use this tool, you first need to enable the slow query log in MySQL. You can do that easily using the Azure portal and by modifying the server parameters of your MySQL Flexible Server instance. The next step will be to set up diagnostics in your database server settings. Diagnostic settings are used to configure log streaming to another Azure resource, such as a storage account, an event hub, or a log analytics workspace, which is the recommended solution, because the logs can be viewed easily in the monitoring section of your Flexible Server properties page in the Azure portal. You can write interactive queries against the log data, or you can use the Query Performance Insight workbook in the Azure portal to view and to get information such as the query load, total active connections, slow query trend details, as well as a list of the top 5 queries that take the longest to execute. MySQL in Azure has also a very robust built-in audit log feature, which is disabled by default. If you want to utilize audit logs to meet compliance requirements, you can enable audit logs by changing the audit log enabled server parameter. However, it is important to remember that using audit logs to track database connection, DDL and DML operations and so on can impact the performance of your database. Once you have deployed your application, you will want to ensure the uptime, monitor the performance of your application, manage the performance settings, and understand usage patterns of your application. Azure Monitor is a tool in Azure that helps you maximize the availability and performance of your applications and services. It delivers a comprehensive solution for collecting, analyzing, and acting on telemetry from your cloud and on-prem environments. This information helps you understand how your applications are performing, and it will also allow you to proactively identify issues in the resources your applications depend on. Application insights in Azure Monitor can be used to automatically detect performance anomalies, and it will help you diagnose issues by using powerful analytics tools. It provides a ton of information about how your users are engaging with your application and what they do. To use Application Insights, you can either install a small instrumentation package in your app or enable Application Insights by using the Application Insights agent. If you have deployed your application in Azure App Service and are running web applications written in Java or ASP.NET, the agent has already been installed for you and there is no need to make changes to your code. Some code changes are needed if you use the Application Insights SDK and languages such as Node.js and Python. The agent will create telemetry for performance counters and diagnostics purposes, and the impact on the performance of your application is very small. After you set up application insights, you will be able to monitor your application using the default application dashboards or create custom dashboards. You will also be able to track the load and responsiveness of your application and discover which type of requests in your application are the slowest or fail most often. Container Insights in Azure Monitor gives you detailed information about your container workloads that are deployed to Azure Kubernetes Service. It gives you performance visibility by collecting metrics from the controllers, nodes, and containers in your Kubernetes cluster using the Metrics API. Container logs are also collected. The built-in monitoring capabilities in Azure give you lots of insights into what is going on in your applications and databases. Based on the findings, you can easily scale up and down your resources such as the compute tier and size of your Azure database for MySQL Flexible Server. It is also good to know that Azure has a tool called Azure Advisor. Azure Advisor is your personal cloud consultant that helps you follow best practices to optimize your Azure deployments. It analyzes your resource configuration and uses telemetry and will recommend solutions that can help you improve the cost effectiveness, performance, reliability, and security of your Azure resources. Azure gives you a highly secure cloud platform which is designed to protect your data and applications. It will allow you to build and deploy scalable cloud-native applications and operate them seamlessly and elastically. You can develop well-performing applications using the languages and frameworks of your choice and scale the performance of your applications and databases as needed without the need to manage the infrastructure, operating system, or the database servers and application frameworks yourself. I hope you have enjoyed watching this and the other videos in the MySQL Developer Essentials video series, and you are now ready to start building and deploying your apps and MySQL databases in Azure. Thank you.